Hey Abraham, my name is Anna and I work with Laomi at Destined to Create, and today I'm putting a video together for you to talk about 3 ways that you can improve your Google rankings. The first thing I'm going to talk about is content. So on your website here, I've clicked on your catering menu and you have a lot of offerings, and I think it's also great that you have your pricing on your website, because that's probably a question people are going to ask you a lot. Um, But another thing I would recommend is definitely just having a lot of text content that describes what you do and how you do it. In general, rule of thumb, it's nice to have like 1,000 words of content for a website. It just shows Google that you're an authoritative website, that you're a legitimate company, and you're giving your customers an opportunity to read a little bit about what you do. And then also, all of this content should be totally unique. Nothing copy and pasted, because that will get you in trouble with Google. The second thing I wanted to talk about was mobile optimization. I noticed that for instance, if I shrink down your website, it doesn't necessarily reformat that well. I think it's harder to tell on this page. Let me go back to the home page. But today, 70% of people are looking at stuff on their phones. And so if things get kind of funky and they don't have a good user experience, what they tend to do is just bounce off the website. If you don't make it easy for them to call, they're going to bounce off the website. So I see you have your phone number here, which is great, but you could also do something like making it clickable, like a click to call phone number, so all they have to do is tap on that. So that is one other thing. The mobile optimization really helps your customer turnover, and then at the same time, Google rewards you for having a mobile optimized site, because at the end of the day, Google wants to provide their users with the best experience, and for them that means delivering websites and businesses that have mobile optimization and good content, because again, they don't want people to come in and see something that's got some really funky formatting. When you have a mobile optimized site, it won't matter if you're on an iPad or a tablet, everything will reformat. So again, that would be a really great update for you. The third thing I wanted to mention to you today are something I like to call votes. Votes come in one kind of a vote is like a backlink. So a backlink, simply stated, is a reference from one website to another website. So if, for instance, you had done some catering for an event at the city hall or something, and the local newspaper wrote about that, and they mentioned, oh, such and such company did the catering, here's their website, that there's a backlink. Those kinds of things happen naturally over time, and they build over time for companies, and the more backlinks you have, the more authoritative you look in Google's mind. So that would definitely also help your searchability in Google when people are looking for catering, or even just for like a pizza restaurant or whatever it is. So speaking of Google, I'm going to come and talk about the last type of vote, which is a citation. So I just came over and entered a really general search term in Google, and we have the map pack show up. I went ahead and expanded this more places here, but then just to continue on this page, what we have under that is what's called the Google Organics search, and I think it's approximately 96 or 97% of users, when they're searching for things, they click on either the map pack or the Google Organic search. They hardly ever click on ads. And depending on the search terms used, there may or may not be ads. So here we don't see any. But what that means is if you're stuck somewhere on one of these later pages, you're just not going to get quite as many leads, not as many customers are going to find you. It's just our habit to stick to page 1 and to stick to the map pack. So I mentioned that I opened up the more places, and here you can see a ton of listings for this. This is just the same search term. There are a ton of pizza restaurants. Okay, there's 5 pages here. And I know I was like, well, okay, well, where are you guys located? So I just kind of looked up here, and I noticed, you should show up with these guys. And you do have a Google My Business page, and you've got some reviews, which is great. But one thing that's going to help improve your visibility in the maps is to have something we call citations. Now, citation is just your name, address, and phone number showing up in different directories across the internet. That would be places like Yelp businesses or a Bing business page. Even your Google My Business page is a citation. So the more citations you have, it really does help with your visibility. And when it comes to citations, one thing that you really want to be sure to do is to have them show up exactly the same. So pizza, pita, both P's must be capitalized. And when you list your address, it must show up exactly like this. No other abbreviations or additions of periods or any kind of different differences grammatically speaking, because when Google sees differences, they don't count towards your business. That's just kind of how their algorithm is set up with that. So just to recap, the first thing I mentioned was adding more content to your website, and then the second thing was getting it mobile optimized. Then the last thing I talked about were votes, which come in two forms. One is the backlinks to your website from other sites on the internet, and then the votes or citations in the form of your name, address, and phone number, which will help your Google My Business page listings kind of pop up in the maps here. So I hope you found this useful, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thanks!